gentlemen. Welcome at Paris Motor Show. Welcome at the Bridgestone stand. My name is Lisbeth Dennis. I'm responsible for corporate communications and PR at Bridgestone EMEA. And I'm joined today by Paolo Ferrari, who's our president and CEO, and with Laurent Dartout, who's our chief strategy and marketing officer. Welcome, gentlemen.
Thank you, Lisbeth. Thank you so much. Is it working?
It's not working, I think.
But it's a pleasure to be with you and to be on the booth today.
On my behalf.
On your behalf, I can welcome everyone as well.
Hello.
We'll just wait a second until we fix the sound.
They need to put it on as well.
Thank you very much. Nice to be here. Thank you for joining us today.
So, I think we have some pretty big announcements to do today. So,
Good.
Exciting time.
without further ado,
So yes, thank you for the introduction. So I think most of you, of course, are reading the news and you're in the industry or partially, so I don't have to tell you all the changes that are going on in the macroeconomic environment, in the social environment, and of course the repercussion that these things have on our industry. So we have diminishing resources in our world, we have behavioral changes, we have the millennials that we think they're kids, but they're actually in leadership positions everywhere in the world today. We have, of course, digitalization and technology changing at the speed that we've never seen before, IoT, clouds, big data, machine learning, climate change, aging population, urbanization, one of the most, I would say, critical points today in the macro trends, with cities becoming bigger and bigger, and we think of Europe, but if you think of China, even more. And of course, the impact that this have on our lives in terms of the traffic, the quality of life of people, the environment. So there is so much going on in social, economic trends and in technology trends, and the implications on our industry are immense. And of course, we as Bridgestone, we think that these are fantastic opportunities.
so a lot of talk about CASE, connected, autonomous, shared and electric vehicles. What is going to be the impact of that?
So we've been talking about CASE for a while now, and of course the acronym you all know about connected, autonomous, shared, and electric. And when we started talking about it several years ago, it looked so far away in time. But the truth is that it's happening so fast. And most of the cars coming out of production today are connected, and we see in 2030, 100% of the cars being connected. We see autonomous driving picking up. In a way, cruise control was one of the first things of autonomous driving, and we all got used to it, and we take it for granted now. But now we rent a car, we buy a car, or even, in our case, rent a car in any of the airports, and sometimes after a few miles, the car takes over and keeps you in the lane. So autonomous driving is happening really fast. By 2030, 22% of the cars will have some level of autonomous driving. Of course, sharing is the sharing economy, is one of the reasons why the world will survive, because we share things. We don't really own things anymore. One way or the other, 33% of the kilometers driven will be through some sort of sharing or pooling, and that's great news. And of course, electrification, specifically in Europe, we know how much the EU is driving regulation around CO2 emission, so we see hybrids and electric more and more. So 57% of the car park will be either hybrid or electric. So huge opportunity for us. Initially, we all thought it was going to be a bigger of a threat. Right now, it's a fantastic opportunity, and I think as Bridgestone and also as parts companies, we're very well positioned to capture these opportunities.
So you say you're very well positioned. So what are the strengths of Bridgestone to deliver on a transformation?
So I think maybe one of the most important points of this slide is really the centerpiece. When we go back to our credo, our essence, who we are as a company, Bridgestone is 90 years in the market with this experience, but most importantly with essence. Essence for us as behavior is how we go about doing business. And one of the most powerful elements of our essence is what we call creative pioneering. So creative pioneering in everything that we do, not just tires. Of course, we create pioneering in materials and in tires, but also more and more in the new mobility ecosystem. Of course, we're the number one tire and rubber company in the world, which helps our scale also in R&D. By the way, tire is a very complex object. It's a piece of technology. So we own that technology and we master that technology really well. We spend almost 800 million euros in R&D each year, which is the number one spending in the industry. We have the Boss at the center of what we do. We call the boss our customers, and our main customers today and in the future will be our OEM partners that you see around here, a fleet of case vehicle more and more, and of course the end user, the driver of our tires. And we conduct extensive marketing research and interviews every year. And then finally, our retail network. We've been investing a lot in retail in the last few years, especially in EMEA. Retail is important not just because we sell more tires, it's important because we drive the high value added tires through our network and is the backbone for assisting more and more those connected fleets in the future. So we now have more than 2,000 points of sales around EMEA and growing. So I think this is a fantastic setup. It's huge strength, huge assets for us to capture probably better than anybody else the case evolution. So, thank you. So obviously tires will be at the core of our business for the foreseeable future. We still make 80% plus of our revenues around tires, but that is the base for us based on the assets that I just mentioned, on the relationship with the OEMs, the relationship with the police, to go way beyond tires, of course, into what we call brilliant mobility solutions, and we're going to be the leaders in brilliant mobility solutions. And in order to do that, one of the characteristics of our industry in the past is that we were a bit of a silos. We're very, I would say, very, very careful about sharing our knowledge, very careful about open innovation. Today's world, it's all about open innovation. So we needed to share more, and we created in Rome. In Rome, we have our BSC, Bridgestone EMEA Technology Center. We create something called the Digital Garage. The Digital Garage is a fantastic environment where we put together R&D people, so tires guys and girls, IT people, and business and marketing people like the team of Laurent. So these three components together, they gather around the ecosystem of technology, mobility companies. We want to access their competence and put at their disposal our own competence. And this is how we come up with our new solutions that we also showcase today. So it's about data collection, it's about creating our own data platforms, it's about creating our own analytics around solutions. Initially tire-centric solutions, but more and more mobility solutions. So this was created basically in less than a year, and already today we announced some very important solutions being deployed into the market.
So Laurent, indeed some very big announcements to make today. I think the first one.
Yes, the first one, the first announcement that I'm glad to announce at the Paris Motor Show is the launch of Bridgestone Connect. So what is Bridgestone Connect? This is the Bridgestone mobility platform for cars. It will be launched initially in the MySpeedy network, so the retail network in France and a few other countries, and it will be launched under the MySpeedy name. So what is it? It's a predictive maintenance solutions for vehicle and for tires at the same time. So what it will do is will provide you with real-time monitoring of the health of your vehicle. If there is an issue, it will give you alerts in a preventive way before the issue really happens on, again, the tire or many other parts of the vehicle. And not only that, it will give you the opportunity to take action. So if an issue pops up, then you have an appointment booking facility that's built in and enables you to go to a retailer and get the issue fixed. So that's basically in a nutshell what MySpeedy is and the first step of Bridgestone into the mobility solutions for cars.
And so how does MySpeedy then capture the issues?
So the way to capture the issue is to have an embedded dongle, which is a telematic solution, into the vehicle itself. A bit of Larsen. So that dongle is basically providing real-time information on the status of the tire and the vehicle. But the most important piece with the data points is the application of Bridgestone proprietary algorithm, machine learning, and artificial intelligence, which then provides insight to the driver of the vehicle, to the user of the vehicle. And that's being provided to the driver through an application on the smartphone.
We have a small video now to show you how it actually works.
So as you can see, this is all about IoT and sensing, data platform, modeling and algorithm, leveraging, of course, the core capabilities of Bridgestone as a group on the tire side, but also on other aspects of the vehicle, and at the end of the day, applications for the end user. The other thing we'd like to announce today is the movement from buying products towards basically subscribing to services. And that's a fundamental trend that we see throughout the society. And on the base of that, we are very proud to be able to announce the launch of Mobox. Mobox is the first subscription platform for tire and maintenance that we are launching. Basically, the way it works is like for your mobile phone. You have a flat fee, and that flat fee gives you access to buying and subscribing to products and services. In that case, you would be able to buy your new tires with full warranty in case of damage. You'll be able also to subscribe to services and maintenance of your vehicle. It could be the winter-summer tire change, it could be the tire hotel services, or oil change, or many other basic maintenance of the vehicle. All that would be accessible through a subscription platform which has been developed by Bridgestone, which can be available online or in-store. And still some questions remain. There is a multilingual customer care center that can provide any answer and any advice.
We have another first, we have another video to show you how it works.
So as you can see, two new digital mobility solutions being launched by Bridgestone at the Motor Show. And the point that I'd like to underline is that this is not a concept. This is not something that you will see in the next 6 to 12 months. This is already available today as we speak in multiple countries across Europe. So this is live, and this is the Bridgestone transformation in motion.
So today we're launching mobility solutions. Does that mean that we're shifting away from tire innovation, Paolo?
No, of course not. I mean, at the core of our business is still tires, and in a way, these solutions are also tire-centric, but as you can see, they also begin to go beyond tires based on data. We don't produce brakes, but we know how to analyze brakes. We don't produce batteries, but we know how to analyze batteries. So solutions are going to be more and more an attention point for us as we deploy, but tire technology is at the core of what we do. We launched several products that we announced in the various shows in the last few years, but more importantly today, we can say that our dry guard run flat technology is now available on all main product lines. So we have a clear competitive advantage in run flat, and we want to make sure that that technology is available to more and more customers. And the final point, I'd like to remind, as I said before, tires are a very complex object, and rubber is a very difficult material to manage and to master, and we do that extremely well. And this is why, when it comes to material, we need to look at the way rubber can help the extended mobility concept that we have across the companies. So we have this new technology, which is called high-strength rubber, but much better than me, I would invite Olivier Tardif to explain exactly what it is. Olivier, thank you.
Thank you for...
Olivier is French, but lived in Japan for 20 years, so...
Yeah, more than 20 years, actually. So, in addition to our new products and our new mobility solutions, I'm very excited. We are very excited to introduce our new polymer that we believe will help us to introduce additional solutions in the near future. So HSR is high-strength rubber. It's a new hybrid polymer composed of rubber and resin, all bonded together at the molecular level. It was developed in our R&D center in Japan by the use of new catalyst technology. I'm a bit lost.
I can help you, even though I know nothing about technology.
Yeah,
but certainly, this is fully supportive of the tire performance supporting extended mobility.
Yeah, it is. But actually, the key of HSR is that although it has significant amount of resin, plastic, that provide eye strength, it still display excellent elasticity. So as a result, the tensile strength, which is the stress you need to fracture, to break material, is much higher than conventional synthetic rubber. It's even higher than that of natural rubber. And so we believe, actually for tire, what makes this new polymer of interest for tire is that it shows higher performances in crack resistance, wear resistance, and also weather resistance. So we believe that all these features will be very useful for the design of lighter tire. And this without sacrificing durability and performances. And this is one solution to the reduction of fuel consumption of vehicle. And the last, but not the least, is that stronger means that less raw materials will be needed for a tire, thus contributing to save resources, and we think that this should have important impact on the environment.
Thank you, Olivier. I think we heard a lot today. We talked about convenience and peace of mind, and MySpeedy are going to bring that. Mobox is going to bring that. The integration of DriveGuard in our main lines is bringing that as well. Is there anything you'd like to add, Paolo?
So I hope you got the impression that from material science, like Olivier just explained, very much a new technology supporting the case mobility ecosystem. Of course, our tires with the extended mobility features, and our solutions business more and more supporting the connected, autonomous, shared, and electric drive, potentially already today beyond tires. I think we really have all of the assets in place to be a relevant player in the mobility ecosystem. Of course, we can't do this alone. I think our OEM partners are key for us in terms of our relationships. So we want to integrate as much as possible our platforms and our solutions with them. Of course, we create them flexible enough to be integrated into the OEM platforms. So between, of course, the OEM partnership, the retailers, and the solution that we're putting in place, I think we have a really good setup. And just as a reminder, tires is still at the core of our business. We're the number one supplier in Audi, number one supplier in BMW, in Aston Martin, in Seat, and also in Scania when it comes to commercial vehicles. So very strong position and growing continuously market share thanks to our team. And again, very good position to be in. So just in conclusion, in this incredibly fast-changing world, we truly have all the assets, and we also have the solutions now in place to be a leader in brilliant mobility solutions.
Paolo, thank you.
Thank
Laurent,
you.
thank you. Olivier, thank you. We still have a little bit of time for questions. They might be asked in English. You can ask them in French. We have a microphone if anybody has a question. And if not, I think that's it for today. Thank you very much for your attention. Thank you for being here.
Thank you,
And
Elizabeth.
see you next time.
Thank you so much.